Right there, folks. Crown Green Bowls. Now, I know it's something that many of you won't do. Many of you might not even be aware of it. I know it's thought of as an old man's or old woman's game, and well, it is to an extent. But I read something yesterday that disappointed me, and I just thought, it's just wrong, it really is. I meant to wear it yesterday, I didn't get the chance. Before I tell you, let me just tell you my background. I do a little bit of the old Crown Green Bowl. As I say, I'm ideal for it. I'm an old man, but I've done it for many a year. I like it. It's something I enjoy. I've got a good gang of friends there, and I quite enjoy it. I enjoy the camaraderie and a bit of banter and whatever else, and it's grand. Am I good at it? No, not particularly. But it's a game that all ages can play, and I say all ages. I've seen young guns from as little as 7 or 8 years of age playing it all the way up to death, if you like. And it's been a pretty biggish game in my town of Warrington for many a year. Although the numbers are dwindling now. They have over the last sort of 20 years or so. And the odd green gets closed down because of it, because they're not getting used enough, and people close them down and build on them, develop them, whatever else. To that end, that's what I read yesterday. I'm looking through the old MSN yesterday, and I read something on there. And it's a comment made by the Waterloo champion of the last sort of 12 months or so. Now, the Waterloo is the biggest competition at the moment in Crown Green Bowls, and has been for many a year. The chap that won it is based in the Leeds area. What's his name? I did write it down. Gareth Coates, and he's saying he's disgusted with his local council, Leeds City Council there. I think they've got 61 greens that they own, that they run, and they're looking at closing 24 of them. Not quite 1 and 2, but not far off, 24 of them. They say the closure will net them about £140,000 per year. And I look at it and I think to myself, how awful is that? Now the thing is, you see, with Crown Green Bowls, it serves lots of purposes, but I think it's particularly good for really, really young kids and people of a certain vintage like myself and older. Now when I say that is, young kids, what it does, it gives young kids an interest. It gets them away from a laptop, from a computer screen, from video games. It might help to get them off the streets as well. And it introduces them to a new bunch of friends. Now to that end, my lad is really, really good at it. You know, he's one of the better ones in our town here. He's done it for many a year. He's played it since he was about, I'm guessing, 9 or 10. And the thing is, from whenever he was 9 or 10 or whenever he started bowling, he met a group of lads there, 4, maybe 5 of them in the main, and he's best of friends with them now. He's got lots of friends from junior school, lots of friends from high school, and other friends from work. But I would suggest the people he's met at bowls are his best pals. He goes away with them when they have lads' holidays. They go competitions together all over the northwest of England. They drink together pretty regularly, or on a semi-regular basis, because they're all at an age now where they've got girlfriends and whatever else, or wives. But I would imagine, I think you would probably say of his 3 or 4 best friends, at least 2 of them are from this bowls crew. And he's known them now for like upwards of 15 years, so they're proper friends. Without bowls, he'll have never have met them. It took him away from computer screens and whatever else. The only downside with it was when he was a young kid and there, I mean, there was places with swings and trees. He used to love going on the swings in between games and climbing in the trees. And he was susceptible for falling and breaking arms, hands, wrists and collarbones. He had probably a break every single year. Every single year we'd probably have to run him to the hospital to get himself sorted out. And that was all on the back end of bowls. But it never put him off. That's how much he enjoyed it. So I think it's great for young kids. It gives them an interest. It gives them something maybe they can do with the mums or the dads or the granddads, the grandmothers, which is always a good thing. As I say, it takes them out of the house, gives them a bit of fresh air. But it's particularly good for the old folk. The elderly, often, especially when they retire, they've not got a lot to do in life. Sometimes they can be locked in a house sort of 24 hours a day and seeing nobody. It gives them an outlet. As we get older, we get hit with things for like your dementias and whatever else, and they're awful, but they're there. That interest and that stimulation does help the brain, but also as we're suffering from either loneliness or from these incoming sort of diseases and conditions that old folk tend to get, it helps to stave them off. But I think even if you've got the earlier dementias and Alzheimer's, you can still mix with folk, and it just gives you somewhere comfortable to go and people that you feel comfortable around and something that you're used to. And I think to myself, in this day and age, when councils and governments are bidding absolutely millions, and I mean absolutely millions. I mean, there's a graph I've noticed today with various councils throughout the country and how much they're losing. I think the worst is Birmingham. I think of the top 10 or 12, I think the fourth or fifth down is at my council, Warrington. They're doing a terrible, terrible job at the moment of running the council, as many are throughout the UK. They're losing millions and millions and millions of pounds. Now, yeah, you've got to tighten your belts and every bit helps, as the advert says, and I get that. But 100 to 140 grand by way of Leeds City Council, is that really going to change the landscape there? I don't think so. How many young folk and very old folk and all those in between is it going to upset? How many people play on those greens on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? And bear in mind, Crown Green Bowls, it's an outside sport, you're getting fresh air, but it tends to last from probably early April to late September, early October. So it's a 6 or more month a year game. You know, it's taking folks out of the homes for 6 months a year. For half their lives, half the yearly life. You know, that's a lot. Gives a lot. Just can't understand it at all. I can understand where Mr. Coates is coming from. I really, really can. It's just sad. It really is sad. I, for one, think Leeds City Council should have a rethink on this one. I really do. 24 greens out of 61 closing. And that's the down thing. That's the bad thing with bowls. They'll never come back. Once they close, they'll never be reopened. That'll be it. You know, and people's parents and grandparents and great-grandparents have played on those through the ages. You know, there's family histories that you're looking at there, and you're just going to bin it all. Really, really sad it is. Really sad. Alright, that's it from me. Soapbox, I'm getting off it now.